I love this song, and it's so appropriate. We have Stephanie Pasternak here and Jared Gaber. Did I say that correctly?
You did.
Okay, and Mel, tell me about this story, because you did this on the 5.
We did it on the 5 yesterday. Now, Jared happens to be a friend of one of the writers in our newsroom and said, we have the coolest proposal that happened, the most Canadian proposal of all time.
Oh, yeah.
It happened at a Timmy's drive-thru, and perhaps we can show some of it and you can explain what happened. This is really cool.
Let's see it.
No, she's here. Good morning. Welcome to Tim Hortons. How may I help you? You are the first woman I ever fell in love with. You spend the rest of your life with me? Yeah?
Stephanie's like, I'll take that, and where can I also get my coffee? Because I'm really tired.
Yeah, how did this work? Like, you were just happened to be going through the drive-thru. How was this all set up? Does she go through every morning?
So whenever she goes into her office, she doesn't always go into the office because sometimes she goes to someone else's office. She's going to court, and yeah. So I need to get her to her office because when she does go to her office, she stops at that Tim Hortons right beside her office.
I work at near Finch and Dufferin in a law office.
Okay.
So there's a Tim Hortons right next door, and I just know because every time we drive to work in the morning, I'm driving to my office, she's driving to her office, and I always hear her through the Tim Hortons drive-thru making her order. She's like, hang on 1 second, and then she places her order. So I'm like, this is the only consistent thing that if I'm gonna surprise her, I gotta incorporate this somehow.
What happens if she didn't go through that day?
I know, you set that all up.
So there were a lot of fail-safes in place. It was a lot of planning. I made a fake appointment with her, with my boss's help, because I knew that if my boss was coming in to meet with her, she would definitely be on time and be done up, because I knew I wanted to record the whole thing, and I knew that if she wasn't, I wouldn't be able to show this tape to anyone. So I made sure that everything was there. You know, my dad helped me basically say, you know, she's leaving, she's on the move now, so I knew I had 15, 20 minutes.
She's on the move.
Basically, 15, 20 minutes.
The Tim Hortons, like, did they, were they
Tim
okay
Hortons,
with this?
so Tim Hortons was great. I went into the location, I spoke with the manager who's on site there, Robbie. He was amazing. He said I had to speak to head office. I spoke to the person at head office who manages that location, and they cleared it with their superiors. They loved it, and they said, go in, you can film, no problem.
Well, what was cool is we watched this video and said, wow, this looks like a commercial. It is so well produced. You were just lucky that you happen to have a friend who...
So my friend Jesse Kapp of Big Ticket Productions is the best videographer in the city. He's
absolutely amazing.
The work speaks for itself, and I knew it would be good. I didn't know it would be this good. You take raw footage and you think, how could it possibly come out looking like this? But the man is a magician.
Stephanie, what's going through your head right there? Because that expression is priceless.
I was shocked. I was surprised. To pull into a drive-thru and see such a handsome face with a ring. I was just, I was speechless. I'm speechless now still.
Were you surprised?
I was so surprised, and I really just wanted to kiss him, and I was sort of trapped in my car because I couldn't open the door, so I just said, I'm pulling down the window and I'm crawling through.
No question, you said yes?
Yes.
Were you a little nervous about that?
Honestly, I was more nervous. I said this to everyone because apparently in this video, everyone's been telling me I look nervous before she's coming around. You can see the emotion on my face. And I was actually more nervous about this elaborate scheme going down and not working out than I was about the actual event and her saying yes and that whole thing.
I think you may have started a trend. Right? What do you think?
Yes. And did you recognize his voice in the drive-thru?
I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't. I knew it wasn't my normal, usual person that often serves me, but I didn't recognize his voice, which... Maybe I should have, but I didn't.
This is your special place now, though.
I know, it's definitely. Well, they've always, that location has always been amazing to me. And
so are you going to get married there now? Is that how it's going to, you just keep the trend going?
It would be very affordable, actually.
You know what, we were reading all these comments. There's been some very funny comments on Facebook and YouTube, and, you know, is Tim Hortons catering the wedding? And are you going to get, you know, there has to be coffee at the dessert table supplied by Tim's, and this whole
Tim
thing.
Bits,
So
the dessert table for sure. You're going to have to do do something with Tim
joking. Well, that's completely up to them, but they've been very, very supportive. Their social media coordinator reached out to us and wanted to share the story with everyone. As soon as they posted on their Facebook wall, it blew up. It's become this big Canadian badge of honor that this is how Canadians propose now, apparently. So it's great to be a stereotype.
You said that Stephanie was the only woman that you've ever loved. So tell us how you met, how you got together.
Yeah, well, again, she's the first woman I ever loved and the last woman that I ever want to love.
We met at a charity event and we literally just collided.
How many years ago?
Last year.
This was last year.
Just last year?
Yeah.
Love at first sight?
You know.
Well, first collision. We literally bumped into each other, like heads down, like texting on our phones people do. And we bumped into each other and it was one of those. And
before I left the event, I just had to say goodbye to him. There was something just drawn to him. I had to say goodbye. I got his phone number. We exchanged Facebook contact information, and we spoke every day since.
And now you'll be sharing coffee together for the rest of your lives.
Okay, so if someone wants to pull off an elaborate proposal like you, how many months do they need to plan ahead?
That's a good question. It's all about knowing the individual. Some people say I want to be proposed to on the Jumbotron. Other people are like, I'd kill him if he did that. It's about knowing the person and knowing how they're going to react to any given situation. Stephanie is the most inquisitive person ever to hold that lie in and make all these plans behind her back. It was next to impossible.
Even the night before, I saw on Facebook that he was communicating a lot with Jesse Kapp, who produced the video, and I said, wow, you're talking to Jesse a lot lately. What's,
I'm like, oh, I play baseball with him. But you know what? Know the person you're proposing to. Know what will really hit home with them. Steph wanted, an evening proposal with a little bit of notice because she thought there'd be pictures, and every single time
You knew what you wanted.
She knew what she wanted, and she told me what she wanted, and every time I told her,
I love him.
You're not going to know when it's coming. You're going to be surprised. You have no control over any of this.
You kept saying you have no control over this. I'm going to do exactly, I'm going to surprise you, and he was right because I would have. He told me he was going to Buffalo. I thought he was waking up at 5 in the morning to go to Buffalo for work. And there he was.
Finishing each other's sentences. Congratulations.
Thank you very, very much.
We're taking a break on breakfast television. How about one more kiss?
I feel awkward. What do we do?
We just hold hands. We're taking a break. We'll see you with more BT after this.
Just stare at them.
I swear that I will mean it. I say